Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. On the Bitcoin chart, we have seen further downside pressure today and also late yesterday. I already communicated yesterday to you on Twitter that the market could have indeed topped there in this wave 2 and that we're now heading down in this third wave to the downside. You can find these additional updates on X, so feel free to follow us there. Make sure that you follow the correct account and not any impersonators. There are enough. They appear and reappear even though we get them banned. But yesterday communication was, and that's already 18 hours ago, communication was that the price might have formed a top in not in circle wave 2, here in wave 2 in white, and that really for the bulls to fight this bearish setup we need a break above the 66,400 level, which is the 78.6 retracement of the initial decline. But we've seen it already late yesterday, that the bears were very motivated and that, we had a pretty much completed ABC structure to the upside. Could have pushed a little higher, but due to the lower B wave, the overshooting B wave to the downside, the reaction that we've seen indicated that the third wave to the downside, as per the white scenario, could have started. So going back to the live chart, you can see that the price followed actually through and formed today a lower low. Okay, we talked about that already in the previous video, I think. And then earlier today on Discord, I communicated already the next micro resistance area. The price already rallied into this resistance area, has now seen a reaction, and it might indeed be that we've now started the third of a third wave to the downside. We will see. I'm not very confident about these microstructures. I don't like them, they are just so unreliable, and that's fine, as long as we approach all of this with the right mindset. I mean, looking at the Bitcoin chart at the 15 or 30 minute charts, you have to be very much on your toes all the time. So they are not so much predictive, these wave counts on the smallest time frames, but they still give us relevant pivots, resistance areas, support areas. And at the moment, there's nothing that would invalidate this assumption that wave 2 could have topped there in a running flat that was here on Sunday, what I just showed you on X, and that we're now moving down in this third wave. Just to reinforce again the ideal downside targets for the third wave in white. We talked about them in the previous video. They haven't changed. What I have done, however, since the last video was to add this micro resistance area, which the price seems to be respecting at the moment. And I've added a micro count, for the third of a third wave there, or generally for the third wave actually. And we can say that this here might have been a wave 1, okay, to the downside, wave 1 of wave 3. And this rally that we've seen into today's high and the resistance area, which is defined between 63,080 and 63,800, well, that could have been a wave 2 of 3, and now we could have started the third of a third wave. And overall, the larger third wave here should send the price into the area between 58,969 and 57,396, so basically 57.4k. And it seems like we might get to 57.4k in the third wave, maybe also in the fifth wave, even though the fifth could stretch a little lower if it needs to, for example, to reach here 55.9k. But this is sort of the next area of interest down there. Condition is, of course, and let me just move these labels to the right place. Condition is now, of course, that the high that was formed on Sunday isn't broken to the upside. So first of all, for the bulls to now take back control, first of all, they need to get the price above micro resistance, which I already communicated to you. So if we can get a break above 63.8k, that would be an indication that the bulls are trying to take back control. But it really then, only if we get a break above resistance, only then we can take a look at the next upper resistance area. That hasn't changed. But basically in the very short term, there's this resistance area, which is relevant. Only if we break above it, that would reduce downside pressure, and then we still have to see the price get above the Sunday high, which is here at 64,350, because that's the invalidation point for the current microstructure. This is standard resistance, and really a wave 2 shouldn't really get above it, but if it does, it could just be a wick. The invalidation point is the Sunday high. Until then, downside pressure remains high and seems like Bitcoin wants to follow through. Don't get me wrong, there are still plenty of waves for this chart to morph. The move down doesn't so much look impulsive, but I can actually count it as 5 down here into the Thursday low, then 3 waves up, very messy though, which would be very bearish because an overshooting B wave to the downside is quite bearish, especially if the C wave can't even get close to the A wave top. Then 5 down from yesterday's high. Yeah, I mean, next should be a third wave. I mean, if that is now very aggressive to the downside, then this shows us that the count is correct. If we see a break above 63,815, the 78.6 resistance level there, that would be an early indication that the yellow count might still have a chance. But for now, we have seen, and that's just very important to understand my reasoning, we have seen on 2 occasions now 5 wave movements to the downside. This alone wasn't so much of a problem, but this now is here. And because we've seen another 5 wave move down, clearly the white count is in control until the bulls break or get the price back above resistance. Then we can reevaluate, and basically the yellow count will then get revitalized. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.